Good morning.
Well, good morning. We are planning to hike from Indian Grave Gap, which is this location here. And we are going to be hiking back to the Nolichucky River where we parked our car. It's only 7:40 in the morning, so it's not as early as yesterday, so we don't have our headlamps on. But this 8 miles is gradually downhill the entire way, and we're probably going to be done in a pretty quick time frame. And maybe we could pretend that this is a near zero or a Nero day because it's 8 miles and we're going to be done by noon for sure.
Yep.
I'm not sure how much scenery we're going to have. I'll update you on the trail as we go. We hope you guys have a good day. All right, there goes Rae. It's turning out to be a beautiful morning. That's where we came from. Can almost get some pretty good views of the trees here. And I gotta catch up with Rae. We're not climbing too many hills today, so me catching up to her is gonna be a lot harder now when I'm back here goofing around videoing. How you feeling?
Feeling great. Beautiful day.
That's where we came from. We're almost 3 miles into our hike today. been so pleasant. You don't realize how warm 45 degrees can feel until you're outdoors hiking. It's been a really pleasant morning so far. A lot of this water and runoff is recent from the snow that was up here a couple days ago. Let's see if I can navigate over this without falling.
This is your short legs.
Yeah, short legs don't help right there. There you go. Woo. There you go. Not sure I can make that step. I'm gonna try. Whew, I made it. I mean, it's not like it's gonna hurt, you know, if you get wet feet, because they'll dry out eventually. I got waterproof shoes, but they're not entirely waterproof. So if you're in it for just a brief moment, it's not gonna affect anything. But Rae, I don't think, has those. So she doesn't like to get wet feet. 45 feels comfortable now, but get wet feet might not feel so comfortable. It's not quite what you would call golden hour, but it sure looks cool up here with the mossy rocks and the sun penetrating through the trees. Hello, sun. So we've arrived at Curly Maple Gap, and we came across an old house foundation, which... That is one small house.
But far out said it's a house foundation.
Americans nowadays wouldn't even want that for their shower. I don't even see a door area.
Well, it's foundation.
Okay, we're coming down into the Curly Maple Gap shelter area. This is a rather nice shelter. At least it's been freshly painted and renovated, it looks like. It's a double-decker, probably room for 12. This is one of the nicer ones we've seen on trail up to this point, as far as fresh paint, graffiti board, table under the actual overhang here. Campfire area. There may be a few tent sites available. Most of it is kind of in a boggy area. Yeah, it's hard to find flat area here, but there's room for 12 in the shelter itself. Even in front of the shelter, it's like hard rock, not just dirt. Yeah, pretty nice. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give this one probably a 9. Water running right by it. Might have to scoop it or go further upstream, but yeah, if you're thinking about staying there, it's a nice one. I should also mention that that shelter is 4 miles from Irwin if you're going northbound or southbound. But it's 4 miles north of Irwin.
River crossing. Hey!
Ezzy, I made it. All right, we just passed a couple of hikers here in the last mile. First one is Storm. We actually saw him near the Cookie Lady. And then we just got done introducing ourselves to Fireborn and her little dog Arrow. Maybe we'll see them again, maybe not. You never know on the AT. We're about 1.25 miles from the end of our hike today. Well, here's the railroad trestle we saw yesterday, except we were 2,500 feet in elevation when we saw it cross this bridge on the river. All right, we're on the other side of the Nolichucky.
Yep, you can see the other side of the bridge right over there.
Yep. So we've effectively connected it, sort of.
As close as we can get.
Yep. Well, when we ended our day, we thought it was the end of our day. But like most things on the trail, you never know what's going to happen. So what we didn't tell you beforehand is that we actually were going to drive up to what's called Indian Grave Gap and go up just a little bit further through a gate it was like a forest road or something, about 1.5 miles up. And the gate was locked. So because it was locked, we had to just start where we did. And then we hiked, of course, we hiked all the way back to Nolichucky. But while we were hiking, we had this great idea that, you know what, when we get done, why don't we drive back up, because we were hiking to a rental car. Why don't we drive back and see if that gate is open at the end of our day? Because we thought, you know, there wasn't winter conditions anymore. Things were kind of melting off. We thought it was very unlikely because it was, you know, because the day of the week it was. So we did, and what did we find?
Well, the gate was unlocked, so we were able to drive up a little bit further. It was really just 1 more mile in.
Yeah.
But the reason that that's important is because it helps our plan for tomorrow. We're hoping to get started early and be able to hike up to Beauty Spot and, if possible, catch a sunrise. And just that extra mile further up the trail helps ensure that we can get there soon enough to be able to catch the sunrise if there's a good one that morning.
Yeah, we thought we had a good plan. Then we realized that we're going to be up at the top of a mountain looking down on a sunrise, not necessarily. So we weren't really quite sure what time we needed to be up there. And we thought, you know what, let's just give ourselves a little bit more time. So instead of the 8 miles that we were supposed to, we ended up doing 9. So you'll probably see that on the chart relive video that we post. We'll go ahead and throw that one in there since we hiked it. So we hiked the 8 miles, went back to where we started, went up the mile and whatever it was, and then on the relive video you'll see I started running back down to down the road to get back to the vehicle. It only actually took us about an hour to do that, but because we're starting at 6 a.m. in the morning tomorrow, we wanted to have just a little bit more time to get up to the top of what's called Beauty Spot and catch our first sunrise on trail.
We're starting hiking at 6. But to be able to hike at 6, we have to, the shuttle driver will pick us up at
4:45 in the morning. But anyway, that was our day. We're going to be starting off tomorrow. We're going to go up to Beauty Spot and continue on. And the next town area that we're going to come to is Roan Mountain. And it's kind of a neat area where you hike, and then it's like you kind of go all the way around Roan Mountain. I think it's more like a mountain town or whatever. And we'll put a clip up there to show you kind of how we're going to be hiking around. And then we'll go on up to Damascus. We're just about in Virginia.
Wow.
Maybe a week?
That's crazy.
That'd be crazy. We're really looking forward to Virginia. Yeah. So, you have anything you want to add?
I do not.
All right. We're going to go to bed early because we have to get up at 4:15 in the morning. Eastern time zone with a time change.
Great.
We hope you all have a good evening. Good night.